Starting off with our no guard all the way open, we're going to go ahead and move up about an inch and flick out as much as possible, setting in our first guideline. Once this guideline is nice and set, we're then going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close and attack that initial guideline. You also want to make sure you stretch the skin with your opposite hand here as much as possible, because we are near the occipital bone and the hair is usually more dense here. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our one guard all the way open and create our third guideline. This is going to be right on top of the occipital bone, so make sure you detail as much as possible here. Also remember, we're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the half guard. Now that we're done softening up the line, we're going to move on to our half guard and erase the line completely. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we can move on to our two guard all the way open and create our fourth guideline. We're going to use this same guard and its lever to soften up this line and get ready for the 1.5 guard. As you guys see here, I'm flicking out as much as possible and I'm using my comb to feed the hair into the clipper, building a solid silhouette. Since the line is soft enough, we're moving on to our 1.5 guard and we're going to use the lever to erase it completely. Sometimes there's still a faint line after using your 1.5 guard, so switching over to your 1 guard all the way open and using its corners would definitely help. Now that we're done with our lower guards, we're going to move on to our clipper over comb method and use our vertical cuts to blend and our horizontal cuts to debulk. Just a reminder, we are near the calic area, so you want to make sure you spend more time here and detail as much as possible. Now that we're done detailing the back, we can move on to the sideburns. I'm starting off with our Gold FX and I'm making sure that it's nice and bald. Now moving on to our no guard all the way open, and I'm going to slightly close the lever midway and all the way close, attacking that initial guideline. Now that we're done erasing our initial guideline, we can move on to our 1 guard all the way open and go right below that one. Once you're done using the lever to soften up that line, we're going to move on to our 1.5 guard and go with the grain on the beard. Now that the beard is nice and blended, we're going to move on to our Gold FX and line up the back of the beard. Before we line him up, we're going to saturate the hair and comb everything in place. Before you line someone up, you want to make sure all the hairs are nice and combed down and everything's nice and neat before you start your lineup. I'm going with the grain with the 1 guard all the way open to debulk the hairs. Using our Go to FX, we're going to start off at the middle and work our way to the sides. And I'm also going as slow as possible, making sure that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer, making sure that none of the hair shifts and is out of place. Now that we're done with the front line, we can move on to the C-cups, and I usually start off at the bottom and work my way to the top arch using the corners of the blade. You also want to go slow enough that the hair feeds into the teeth of the trimmer. I hit the line up a good 50 to 100 times, so don't worry if you're spending a good amount of time on the hairline. Only thing is, you want to make sure you're not pressing too hard on the same spots, because you could cut them with the teeth of the trimmer. Now that we're done lining them up in the front line and the C-cups, we're going to move on to the bottom of the beard and start off at the middle, working our way to the side. Now that we're done with the beard and saturating the hair, we're going to take our shears and comb and lift the hair up with the comb, feeding it into our fingers and cutting it with our shears. You also want to make sure you take nice and consistent strokes throughout the whole hair, because if not, then the hair is going to be uneven. You also want to make sure that the hair is nice and saturated so you can get it. Now that we're done with our shear work, we can move on to our Turkish razor and Gerber premium blades and make them as crispy as possible. When using the razor, you always want to stretch the skin with your opposite hand and keep the blade at a 45-degree angle. This will lower the likelihood of you cutting someone. I hope you guys are enjoying the video. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe is greatly appreciated. Also, if you guys want to show some extra support, go ahead and leave a follow down below on Instagram. If you're looking for private sessions and one-on-one mentoring on cutting hair and investing, join the Tonsorial Arts membership down below. Also, if needed, you can reapply shave gel when the area dries up, and also don't be afraid to stretch your skin with your opposite hand. It's very important.